Hello, everyone. Rocco Jeppy here for CCBC Essex Athletics alongside head baseball coach Mike Carter today. Mike, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll jump right in for you then. Season starts this year with a 5-game swing in North Carolina. What are you hoping to learn about your team down there?
The difficult part going to North Carolina is not a lot of outside time when you're coming in, with this kind of weather that we're experiencing right now. Getting outside's tough. So getting down to North Carolina is really the first time that we can get consistent outside. So really what you're trying to learn is how much fight you guys are going to have for each other, and who's the guys willing to go out there and play every day, and who has the right mentality, and that's the point in time where as coaches you're trying to piece things together and find out what's gonna fit where and when. So, but as long as you go down there and what you want to see is competitiveness. You're not going to be perfect down there, but you want to see guys with that will to win, and that shows that they have a desire to get better as the season goes on.
All right, well, let's get to know some of those student athletes. Talk about your top returners.
Top returners, right now I'm excited about the roles of Logan Miller, Mike McRae, Brandon Wiltshire, Jason Nunez. I'm looking forward to seeing what those guys are going to do this year. They're going to play a big role for us. I know they're excited about it. On the hitting side of things, Kyle Gertz is returning. He's an all-region third baseman, and we also have Anthony DeMario, our center fielder. He was a top base stealer in the conference last year. So, those guys produce a lot of runs for us. So we're going to be looking at them for leadership.
All right, give us some info on your top newcomers then.
Top newcomers. We got a lot of new faces. So Benjamin Murray, for one, is going to be coming in playing shortstop. Mitch Fife is going to see a lot of playing time. Andrew Scott. We got a few transfers in at the break. We got a few sophomore transfers coming in, as far as Devin Conroy's transferring from Calhoun Community College. He's going to be a top pitcher for us this year. Also, Nick Grimaldi has transferred to us as a sophomore, so we're looking to him for some leadership and things like that. We have young pitching staff. Troy Howe, Rocco Irvasi, two guys I think we're going to be counting on a lot. So it's a young team. It's a lot of new faces, but it's going to be interesting. It's a good group of guys.
How well do you think this group will gel together to be competitive in the Maryland JUCO?
So far, the fall was a great experience with these guys. They really got along together. They had fun. They were serious when they needed to be. The fall can take a lot out of you when you're out there every day and you're playing 15 to 20 scrimmages. But these guys battled it every day, and you go through the grind of classes and being away from home and playing baseball and practice. But when it came down to game time, these guys still had a desire to win, which is very important for me to see. And a lot of positive attitudes and picking each other up. It was just a good group of guys that looking at it from my end, they really got along together, and I enjoy my time with them.
What about on a regional level? Can these guys compete with the rest of Region 20?
I think so. We finished third in the region last year, so I think anytime you do that, you're kind of on the radar when you play these teams from the region. Even if you're a newcomer coming in, you gotta know the history a little bit and the way teams are going to look at you. So it's a challenge that they want to accept. I think the ability is there, and how we put it together is, that's going to be the true test if we compete in the region again this year or not.
Last season, the team did improve by 4 games over 2014, and you finished above 500 for the first time since your first season at the helm. What does this year's team have to do to get to the next level?
Well, just like we talked about before, and that's gelling together and being one unit and not being, separating ourselves even during times of anything negative happening, or times get tough. You can't separate yourselves from the group, and it's sticking together and seeing the goal that's at the end of the season. Finishing 4 games better last year is great. I think these guys understand that our goal is to improve every year, but we have a greater goal than that, and guys understand that. If our goal is to get to the national tournament, and if that's what your goal is, and you're going to have those successes along the way where you're going to improve in those spots.
All right. Talk to us a little bit about the strengths and weaknesses of the team.
Well, strengths, like we talked about again already, is the camaraderie these guys have together. I think it's an athletic team. They can run. They communicate well. The pitching staff, we have strike throwers, and they're going to be guys that these guys are going to keep everybody in the game. They're going to throw strikes. It's going to be keeping defense on their toes and not letting guys fall asleep as far as keeping the defense ready. But there's a lot of different ways we're going to be able to win games. Defensively, we have speed. We have guys that can hit the gaps. So we'll see how that goes. As far as weaknesses go, I can't predict any of that kind of stuff, until we get rolling on it. This is, like I said, this is a good group of guys. We're going to be competitive. I don't know where the holes are. I'm sure there will be, and you got to adjust to it. But that'll be something that we visit as the season goes on.
So you mentioned that obviously the ultimate goal is to make the national tournament. Win the conference, win the region, win the district. Outside of that, is there anything about that are more so your expectations of the team?
Well, number one goal, and we talk about it even during the recruiting process, is we have to recruit guys in, but it's very important to our program and to the student athlete as well as to recruit them out. Their goal should be to earn a 4-year degree, and this is just the first part of doing that. That's kind of what we want the face of our program to be. Is you need to focus on your academics when you get here and have the goal to move on to a 4-year school. We want that reputation, and we think that's what the best thing for our student athletes is. So whatever level that may be, that's our goal with those guys. That's outside of the baseball goals that we have for the year.
When the season ends this year, final out is made. How are you going to define success for the team?
So, goal, like I said before, is the national tournament. It's been a long time since the Essex program has done that, so it's been a building process throughout the years, and we've taken those strides to get better. So, yes, there have been successes along the way. So, if your goal is a national tournament and you get there, you've been successful through your season. If you don't get there, it doesn't mean you didn't have successes or steps in the right direction. There's region championships, there's district championships. You want your guys to showcase themselves and be on the all-region, all-conference team and have individual goals for themselves. So there are successes. There's an ultimate goal, and there's achievements along the way. And if these guys work towards those things, that's the memories they're going to have for themselves. But team goals, as far as an ultimate measure, would be the national tournament, but all is not lost if that's not happening. We want to compete for that, though.
Okay. Final question for you. Fans, fellow students, and student athletes watching, let them know why they should get more connected and get out to the games to watch the ball club.
Well, I think as junior college is with all sports, it's within a community. You can get a lot of community presence at the games that can help with student athletes and enrollment in our school to support these guys. Also with students coming out just to help build the chemistry of the school, and it creates a good atmosphere for people to be in, and they want to belong, and you can take a pride in it. As long as we continue to improve and win, you're going to see more people come out. I mean, it happened last year. There was a lot more people coming out than they had before. We were, as some people put it, we were entertaining. So if all those things continue to happen, I think it can go well.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us here today, Mike. Really appreciate it. There you are, folks. Head coach Mike Carter of your Knights baseball team. For more information on the Knights, visit www.ccbcessexknights.com. For Mike Carter, I'm Rocco Jeppy.